back up the gorge from Stuart, BC.
As we headed south on the Highway 37 from Stuart, BC to Katwanga, the amount of bears was absolutely unreal on the side. We saw over 15 different bears. From here we went to Gitwangok Battle Hill. The Battle Hill is designed as a strategic hill for defense. This was our night's rest at Katwanga. In the town of Katwanga there was a by donation campsite, and it was very well looked after by the local community. From there we headed south to Houston and saw the largest fly fishing rod on the side of the road. Then on to Smithers and the farmers market for the best date squares ever tasted and the best value. This is a nice lunch break site. It is also a campsite, just literally about 2 minutes outside of the town center of Burns Lake. Gonna see how much the camping actually is, but we pulled over. It was slightly raining. Soup and a sandwich. Nice soup, cup of soup and a sandwich. Tempted right now to go get the fishing pole out and go for a fish. It's a nice little area. The fire pits are sunk in concrete. They're actually in the right direction. Each one has this picnic table. It's really cool. It is a bit close to the road, but I mean, parking lot for day use. There's bathrooms, kids area. Let's go and have a look. See how much this site actually is, shall we? Oh, no charge. Look at that. No charge. 72-hour limit. Fires in fire pits only. Wow. Hey, Sandra. It's free. Yeah. She's as blown away as I am. 72 hours. 5 days, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, 3 days. I go on 12 hours. I never work on 24. So, another big push from, where were we? Burns Lake. And we're now in Quesnel for dinner. And it seems to be an industrial town. Some nice parks. Lots of these old steam pieces of equipment. Some beautiful flower gardens. And yes, we are parked on the side of the road. But it's a park for dinner, followed by another drive then probably to Williams Lake and go and have a rest there, and then we can push the last 6 hours or so back to Vancouver. We've been seeing tons through the northern sections of this province, the Yukon and the Northwest Territories, hanging baskets. Amazing, like the size of a house. Like, they are seriously massive. So yeah, if you come up here, for sure you'll see some beautiful flowers, some beautiful gardens, And again, right by a rushing river. And this is mid-August, coming up to mid-August, and the rivers are still flowing full. Beautiful. So, my dear, what's on the list for dinner tonight?
We're having a lazy dinner. We are having tuna hamburger or tuna helper with fresh veggies in it.
How fresh? Out of a can?
Yes, but they're Del Monte, so they are fresh. And then with grated cheese on top with some naan bread.
Nice.
Lazy dinner, easy dinner. I'm tired.
That's okay.
Just in case.
This guy doesn't have good brakes on his Jeep.
We've just turned the GoPro on. It's 8:54. We've gone through Quesnel. We're heading towards Williams Lake. The clouds are black. We thought it was going to go dark, but I think it's raining, or it will be raining soon. But in the distance, there is a thunderstorm and a lightning storm. So we're hoping that you'll be able to catch it on the camera. That was a good strike of lightning. I think we got that one.
Cop there. They got caution tape all up there. Or not caution, but crime scene tape. Hello.
We stayed at Williams Lake in the visitor center car park. We made an early rise the next morning to find some deer hanging around the trailer. Carried on south, and at Cache Creek we turned right, down through Marble Canyon and heading towards Lillooet. There is some spectacular scenery between Marble Canyon and Lillooet. You take the Duffy Lake Road after Lillooet, down into Pemberton, along to Whistler, and home to North Vancouver. This would be the end of our trip. And what a fantastic trip we had had. It is a bit of an anticlimax in the video, unfortunately, as we needed to get home for work the next day. What we did cover though, we were just shy by 7 kilometers of making 12,000 kilometers of the full trip over the 3 weeks from North Vancouver all the way around the northern part of BC, the Yukon, Northwest Territories, into Alaska, and back down British Columbia. 12,000 K and $2,800 in gasoline, which was pretty good for us. Just some damage updates from the rocks now that we've been home. Everything that was black is now rust colored. The handle on the jack smashed. All of the silver here that was black. Underneath of the frame is all rusted from stone damage. All the aluminum is damaged. The lights are damaged. This is pitted. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that is pitted. The white marks you're seeing on Oasis, that is damage. These are not marks of dirt. These are chips. We are so lucky that the glass did not break. Both sides have chip damage. Again, the white, the silver, this is all black. These are rubber. This was black because I painted this prior to going, so rock damage. That side of the heater hot water tank was black, is now white. It is rough. You can see the wood and then the primer. We're gonna get this all done, redone again. The jack, you
You can see that it is all the original color underneath before we had this jack. Somebody had painted it red. We are going to make a cover because our best friend on this trip, second best friend to duct tape, was WD-40. This needed to be lubricated. From behind here, you can see a rock or two there. I will show you here. We took the jerry can off of gas. That was stored from the rocks of the Dempster. Again, on this side, you can see stone chip damage, all the white dots, I should say. That's all rock damage. Again, on this side, this is all damage. Not so bad on this side. That's because this would be the driver's side. The passenger side seemed to be more in the way of the curb, or the lack of curb, but more gravel being pushed to the sides of the road. We did lose one of these straps right here. The rocks had frayed the ends just by hitting them and tore them off. Now these were stored here. They hold the stabilizers up. You can see this one's a different style. This is a Velcro one, and the reason why that's different is because this is the one we lost. I had that as a spare, and that's why it's on there, because the little arms that are underneath, these right here, this just leaves, backed into something I guess, they vibrate and they move out of the way, and so that's that. What other damage did we get? This is the split for our shower. This is a cap that just goes over. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. There is a black valve right here. This one is missing. This one was open, so it was in line with the brass. This one was closed, it was sticking out here. Rock, yeah, you guessed it. Pulled it off. I am going to take off the skid plates here because we need to clean them out, and at the front. And I'm going to relocate all the cable ties. I'm actually going to put some protective wrap around everything that's wired underneath. That'll get done. All the suspension, it creaks right now. It's due to the rubber bushings and the dust that we've had, so that's going to get all lubricated up so they won't squeak anymore. What else have we got going on? License plate took a bit of a beating. The fridges we've taken out already, they're cleaned. They're in the process of being dried out and put back together. This is the reason why the tarp is on right now, is because we had the problem with the bed separating. We have since found out that this box and the bed were glued to the chassis with, I don't know the product name, but the number was 5300, and there was 2 bolts on the driver's side that held the I don't have the keys on me, I'll show you in a minute. Actually, I'll go get them. These are the only 2 bolts, one right there and the other one right there, that I could find that held the bed, the box, to the chassis. There is none on this side. There is one of the bolts and the flat washers, and here's another one that I installed, and not sure if you're going to be able to see in there. There's a third one, and there's one on the other side. So if we're looking inside of the door here, I got one here, and then we have one in the closet and another one in that closet, and they look like that. These are the angle brackets. There's another one over there that I had made. I welded them to the frame, and then I just drilled the hole through the body and put those flat washers in. There should be another one right, I don't know if you guys see, it's too dark. Let's see, focus it in. No, you're not going to see them. So we've got 4 of those underneath, and again you can see some of the wiring hanging down. That is going to get insulated with this black protective, but that's going to go all the way along all harnesses. That's going to be one of my fixes for the future. This is the ground strap, the yellow wire right there. That is the ground strap that came off, and we had to do a field fix. Ever since then it's been good. I've not lost any electricity. The Anderson plug, which is right there, that got fixed at Homer. That has worked perfectly since. I do have underlights here in each corner. The left rear, the wiring was smashed off or cut by rocks again, so that's going to get repaired. So we have a bit of work to do with regards to repairs. A little work in progress. I'm too scared right now to wash the truck. We're going to look at the glass is going to get replaced. I'm not sure what style yet. I'm going to look at our insurance to see if we'll get that repaired. Yeah, there's a lot of spitting in there. I'm a bit upset with myself, but there's not a lot I can do. We'll see how that works out. May get a repaint, and there are some on the tailgate as well, but again, until I wash it, I'm not going to know how bad that actually is. The trasharoo, we're going to have to fix that. Some repair work we've got to do, but it's part and parcel of overlanding, camping, vacationing, however you want to deem what we do, and we will get it all repaired. We love the Oasis a lot. Oh yeah, going back to this here, we can see the gap here, but now it's not moving as much. I did find that this is glued down. I'm actually going to put some bolts in here to make sure this is joined, and then I'm going to seal this all off again. The reason why this tarp is here, because this will leak on this seal. Those seals on the box and for the rear hatch are just piano hinges. I'm actually going to look at hurricane hinges. I've started to do some research on that, and I'm going to replace all of those. We're going to use urethane to glue the seams back together, and then any hole that's underneath I'm actually going to seam seal so no dust and no water can get in. And other than that, I think we are in a work in progress, but it's not going to stop us from camping. We are still going to be able to go out and do some camping. So the trasharoo took some damage. The lid that Sandra made, as you can see here, it is dimpled with rock marks. That survived. The buckle did not. It should have a loop piece like that in there, and if you look at this one, it's actually missing, so that got broken off. If we look inside, we see daylight. It is shredded from the bottom, and you can actually see rocks lining the bottom of the bag. This damage here was already there, like the wearing parts. That's because of the griddle that we have in here, but the very bottom for sure has been eaten alive by the rocks, and that is this right in here, right up underneath. That is probably our fault for putting it at the very front. Well, it's not probably, it is our fault for being at the very front. But we don't really carry small items in there to lose. It's always big items.
So the Trasharoo is either going to get repaired, or it's going to be garbage. We'll see. So I just took off the under tray for the water tank because I knew I had dirt under there, but we had some unwanted guests travel with us since the Dempster Highway. This is the dirt that has got splashed up from the wheels and was stuck between the skid plate at the front, and you can see how deep that mound of dirt is, and it was staying there and it was up against the tank. So it did its job in protecting it from the rocks, but we traveled with this all the way home. And that tank would be, that shield would have been supported above here, and the other one, which is here, as you can see under there, that is now clear, but we got our hands in here when we exited the Dempster and we pulled all that out and we used the pressure washer to blow it out. I could not access this one that was under here, and so I have managed to just now take it out. Amazing. So I'm going to try and show you the repair job on Fred. It's real windy out here today. They repainted the whole of the box side. Everything got painted from the wheel arches to the box side itself. New decals. This is not a scratch, it's just fluff. The most noticeable was the bumper. Wow, the wind. There are no stone chips or dents. The tailgate, as you can see, the decals that I made, they are missing. Tailgate is in perfect condition. Again, that's just a bit of fluff. Bumper. Tailgate again. Even the Ford badge got replaced. So super happy with this whole paint job. They didn't take the bed off, they just took the canopy off, and I got it all done under insurance due to the rock damage done on the Dempster Highway. And I really want to thank Bill at Richmond's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Collision Center. And that is where the Ford dealer that I go to actually send their vehicles. I have worked with Bill in the past with one of my Jeeps, and this work has come out, not saying that he does bad work whatsoever, but it's come out way better than I had ever envisioned. So I'm really happy. This is not a paid for by Richmond Chrysler Dodge Collision Center whatsoever. I just want to pass on the good work that these guys have done. And you can see, I'm not sure if you can actually see, let me get the light here. This was a cheap paint job, cash deal. This is a cheap paint job. The color is not anywhere near perfect, whereas this, you can see it's slightly darker here. This, if I go to the body, stand this way, There's 3 different colours. This is the repaint, which looks identical to the body of the vehicle, and this is the cheap paint that is definitely not as good. This is the matched paint to the body, and this is the darker cheap paint. And I can tell the difference. But some people don't. Again, what I paid for is what I got, and the truck does look good with it. Fred looks brilliant. Just to let you know, we're in a windstorm. Looking forward to camping tonight.